It's your Whisky Sisters, Inka and Jen, back to cause a little dram-fueled chaos.
Join us as we stick our noses into the news, fire up the drams, and blather with whisky pals and industry legends from across the globe.
So pop the cork, fill your glass, and enjoy the ride.
You're listening to the Whisky Sisters podcast with Inka Larissa and Jennifer Rose.
Welcome, listeners, to our bonus episode. You heard it right. We are recording especially today because we've been up to some extra special mischief, haven't we, Inka?
Yes, so we recently met in person again, yay, in Glasgow, and we had a chance to go to Edinburgh and talk to
Rob Dietrich.
Those of you that have been listeners of Whisky Sisters for a long time may remember almost 4 years ago now, we spoke to Rob Dietrich, the master blender for Blackened Whiskey, an all-round whiskey superstar and just completely cool guy. And it was actually amazing to meet him in person, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think maybe some listeners might know him from Stranahan's. He was there for 12 years, so he's quite of a whiskey superstar, especially in the States.
Definitely. And him and James Hetfield are very into cigars, and those cigar smokers that listen to this podcast will maybe already know about Blackened Cigars. But we are beyond excited, and we had to take the opportunity to record for the podcast, although potentially there might be a wee bit of background noise.
Yeah, so Cold Townhouse at Grassmarket in Edinburgh were kind enough to open their doors or their roof for us for some morning breakfast drams and chat with Rob. So obviously we were recording outside, so there was like helicopters going above us, and there's sometimes some music noise or things like that, but you know, we'll make do. But anyway, we had good fun and it was good chat. So we wanted to share it with you guys, even if there's a July episode coming soon as well. But, extra treats for you for the summer.
Exactly. And just really massive thanks to Rob because his schedule was ridiculously busy. He was touring all around Europe and we met his amazing partner, like bad boss lady, Kelly. And that was such a pleasure. And the sun shone in Edinburgh.
Yeah, that was amazing. It was so cool though, like drinking Blackened with Rob in sunny Edinburgh, overlooking the castle. Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like a pinch me moment. I'm still buzzing. Honestly, also like we went to the Metallica gig after, like on the same night. And even now, like every day, my head is just full of Metallica tunes, like constantly. I'm like, yeah. I know, they just like drilled in so deep. Oh.
And you're like, we were so excited, but a few points I turned around and you just were like full blown excitement. Like, it was just like jumping up and down with sheer joy. It was good.
I know.
Yeah, it was amazing the way it worked out because meeting Rob through the day, breakfast drams, can't confirm or deny if there was further drinking of Blackened on the train from Edinburgh to Glasgow. I mean, I don't know. And we, of course, had the Scottish Podcast Awards like sandwiched in between the Metallica gig and our meeting with Rob. So all round, pretty busy day.
My Blackened cigars are still in my suitcase, which is still missing.
Oh, dun, dun, dun.
I know.
Come on, that's so shit. Your suitcase is still missing.
So this is also a warning that our July episode might get delayed by a week if my suitcase doesn't arrive because, Lafroig samples are also in there.
Oh, no.
It's just shambles.
Never a dull moment. And
no.
Will be worth waiting for, as will those extra special cigars.
And my award is in there as well. My Whiskey Influence Award is there. I had actually had a dream that I got the suitcase back and they had taken all the whiskey and just gave me everything else. And I was like, no.
Your unconscious mind fretting about your identity being stolen from your luggage. Bless your heart.
I know. But yes, so why don't we hear more from Rob next?
Whisky Sisters! Yes.
So excited to finally be here in person. So
It's
I love
really
that.
lovely, so nice. And thank you for like putting up with our like sending your Halloween video every year and stuff.
No, I think it's lovely. I think it's so cool. And so I love what you're doing, and I love that the excitement and the passion that you have for whiskey, which I obviously do as well. And I think it's just cool what you're doing. And I mean, you're doing out of love for whiskey, and love what you do.
For sure.
Make whiskey fun again.
Yes. I don't know if it ever wasn't fun. I think I feel like I did this quote years ago when I was at Stranahan's whiskey, the original social media, because it is the original social media. This is where, people always gather together, and it creates the social aspect. So before we were all scrolling and kind of, looking around and doing, not engaging. We're engaging in person, I think. And,
exactly. And so connecting, like building community, like worldwide communities now. And you put us in touch with Mike at Whiskey More, because he was interviewing you, the guy that does the slasher.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Of course. Yeah.
And we became like online friends with him, and he's been
I've
in
seen
our
that,
Halloween
yes.
videos. And we just think our love of like what you're doing in Metallica, you just think it just unifies people. It's amazing.
I agree. And it is funny because there's a large community, but there's also a small community. I think a small community of people who are super passionate and they want to engage and educate and also be educated, because we're always learning. There's always something to learn about whiskey. There's always something new that shows up. And I think it's exciting when we make those kind of connections with, like, I saw through social that you guys were doing, posts you were doing, and they were liking. It was like, oh, okay, so we've got some connections here. Yeah. And also one of my former employees, who I'm very proud of, started his own distillery, Talnua, and they follow you as well. So I'll see him liking things on there. His name's Distiller Miller. So if you see Distiller Miller on there, that's my friend Patrick, and
We'll make sure we follow that.
he started his own distillery, 3-pot still distillery in Colorado, and he's just doing a phenomenal work there. And huge shout out to him, because he's I love it. I've been making whiskey for 20 years, and there's a lot I've kind of, it's almost like having whiskey children. And you're like, you're proud of them. They grow up. They're like, oh, they're all grown up and they're doing their own whiskey. Like, it's like, I feel like a proud father of whiskey children.
Quite right. We'll put that on our list. We are determined one day we're going to do like an American road trip.
Sure,
Yes.
Whiskeys in the States. So
that
that would be amazing.
with all the single malts now. I feel like that's some category to follow.
It is. And it's interesting. So when I was making American single malt whiskey, Stranahan's, there was no category for American single malt whiskey. Whenever we would submit our whiskey to like the San Francisco World Spirits Competition or different competitions, we always had to put it under the general category, so general whiskey, because it didn't fit under bourbon, it didn't fit under rye.
Yes.
So we fought very, very hard with Stranahan's to. We helped form a commission called the American Single Malt Whiskey Commission, with other single malt whiskeys, and we were lobbying the federal government to recognize American single malt as a category, because you can recognize Japanese single malt, even Indian single malt. Of course, Scotch. It's all about designation and terroir and where it came from. So it was really important to us to have that designation, so we can actually have a category. Yeah. Up until that point, there were 42 recognized categories of whiskey by the federal government in the United States. So now there's 43. So we added I hope so. That was the last time I checked. Maybe there's more. There might be more now. Who knows?
That's exciting.
Just with you saying about Stranahan's, is that how you pronounce it? Stranahan's?
Stranahan's, yes.
Stranahan's, because I remember reading like about what you did there, and the huge component of like community, and when there were bottle releases, there became like a fan base. You would do like kind of meet and greets and sign bottles and things.
Yes, so there was a special program that we created that I really leaned into, and I had so much fun with it. And this is really kind of where I got my notoriety, I think, from was the snowflake program. As in nature, no two snowflakes are alike. So every whiskey batch of snowflake was limited. I couldn't really replicate it. It would be very difficult to replicate, because what I would do is different cask finishes. I would take the Stranahan's cask finish in anything I can really get my hands on. Tempranillo barrels, cognac barrels, sherry barrels, there was just anything unusual that I could do a cask finish with. And they might be at different ages, cask finishing. And so I would put together a blend of those cask finishes. So it might be some of this Tempranillo over here and some of this rum cask over here and some of this, and that spilled over to my Blackened days. We were just only selling at the distillery. And, so when we first started doing it, it was a very popular day. People would just, it would be a very busy day, the first couple of releases. And then after that, it got kind of the word, we never advertised it.
Like a cult following.
Oh, it was. We never advertised it ever. We didn't need to.
That's
so
cool.
We would just tell people, snowflake release. And that was it. We wouldn't, and what day it was. And then people started to, then they started showing up early, like 4 hours early, then 6 hours early, then camping out overnight. And then they started to camp out overnight for 2 nights. And then the line kept getting bigger and bigger because we always numbered the bottles one, on up. So hand numbered. So everybody always wanted those first lower numbers, in their collection. And so we had people who would camp out, and this is in wintertime in December in Colorado. So it's like, people are crazy.
Yeah.
And I always took it so seriously. I'd stay at the distillery for, the entire amount of time that everyone was waiting in line. I was staying at the distillery. I was sleeping in my office. I was sleeping on the couch, up in the, like in the distillery.
Your energy literally infused in the releases, like in every way.
I would get so excited about it, but it also was like, okay, I'm in this with you. And then I started, bringing in food trucks, and then we started like bringing in warming tents because it was I have this photo I found the other day of people in sleeping bags laying on the ground, just covered in frost. They're like literally covered in frost, waiting for 2 bottles of whiskey, and it was
getting warm up.
Yeah, I would go and I would have a dram with people and I would walk the whole line. It'd be like 1,000 people in line, and just and walk the line and have a dram with them, and people would have their little tents and their little stoves, and it just became Snowflake Village is what we called it. And it was so like humbling to like kind of be a part of, and just to see like how excited people were, and people would buy their bottle, and then I would stay there and sign everyone's bottle, take photos, and it was just a cool community, and people who were really proud, like they earned it. We waited in the snow and the frozen, and slept on the sidewalk in a sleeping bag and covered in ice.
I'm thinking they must have been really sad when you left.
I was, and it was not an easy. It's interesting. It was a mixed decision for sure, because obviously going to make whiskey with Metallica is like I can't not do that. But at the same time, I loved what I was doing at Stranded Hands. I was there for 12 years, and I loved the community we had built. I knew every nut and bolt in that distillery. I'd worked on every single piece of equipment in there at some point or other, and I'd helped grow that brand to that level. And I do miss it. I still miss it, but I still have like lifelong friends from it.
Yeah.
Lifelong friends who are still, some of them are in the whiskey industry. Some of them have left and have done other things, but we call it the Stranded Fam. So we still have Stranded Fam, and we have people like when someone comes into town, like, hey, so-and-so's in town, and like all of us will go and meet, and it's a reunion. So it was hard to leave that, of course. Yeah.
So what's happening at Blackened then?
That's a good question. Right now it is, it's on hold. Okay. So it's on hold where distribution in the United States has had a huge shakeup.
Yeah.
One of the largest distribution companies who we worked with fired a bunch of people, reorganized it. All the agreements that they had with a lot of brands just disintegrated overnight. Okay. So you see a lot of brands in the US that have just closed the doors. It's been very difficult.
Yeah.
And the industry has changed. I think it's interesting. I think in the era where I was growing up, if you were going to meet people, you went out to a bar and had a drink.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's the only kind of social interaction you're going to have. So there was a lot of that. And I think now that people have different ways, of meeting people, they're not drinking as much, they're
the younger generation. We talk about it on the podcast sometimes, don't we? They have different drinking patterns than
yes. Kombucha is not alcohol.
Yeah. No. matcha.
Will we pour some Blackened
Yes,
as we're
why don't
chatting?
we?
Of course.
Yeah.
I think, I have this rule. If we're talking about whiskey, you have to have a little whiskey in
For
you.
sure.
And I see that there's a little tiny bit of whiskey already in the bottom of your glasses. So
Yeah.
you were already priming the pump before I got here.
We were a little bit nervous. We're like, okay.
Yeah, we kept you waiting a little bit. So
No,
On the podcast episode that you came on nearly 4 years ago, I was saying to Inka, I was so excited / nervous. I was quite tipsy by the end of.
I was telling someone recently how we always drink whiskey when we record.
oh, absolutely, you have to.
Someone was
Lunch.
Slange.
Yeah,
Ian,
slange.
it's lovely to meet you.
was really shocked and like, I don't know. I was like wondering, does other whiskey podcasts, do they not drink while they record? Like, they were
Yes.
just
Yeah,
like,
we
what?
were
how could you not?
shamed. We were like, we drink every episode.
You're getting drink shamed?
yeah.
What?
We're a whiskey podcast. We need to drink.
Like, of course, it's in the name.
For sure.
Yeah,
Bloody delicious.
know.
Right?
I'm glad you. I know it's like it. I'm glad you enjoy it because I
You so
was like,
enjoy
oh,
it.
as soon as I took the sip, I was like, oh, hello, old friend.
Yeah.
Like,
I literally had to get some for my friends in Finland and like, I can't remember where we saw some bottles, but like,
Yeah, I have an unopened bottle in Portugal, and I'm just like, I always open the bottles, but I'm a bit like, while it's on hold, maybe don't open it.
I know, and it is on hold. Back to your original question, on hold until we can figure out next steps.
Cool.
And there's nothing, obviously we taste some whiskey. There's nothing wrong with the whiskey itself. We
Far
just,
from it.
I just think with a changing industry, we're adjusting and trying to adapt with it. So we're right now kind of leveled out on that, and then we'll see where it goes. Because I just it's been so much fun to do collaborations with other people and do these whiskey collaborations. And obviously, this is my passion. We are focusing on the cigars. That's why we're in Europe. So we're on tour with Metallica right now, launching the cigar in Europe. So we're very excited about that.
Let that sink in.
I know.
Oh, amazing.
It is, and it's for the last 7 years I've been on their tours, except for COVID, of course. That was like, I never take it for granted. I am always so grateful to be here and doing what I'm doing, and
like a fan as well as like a friend,
of course,
and colleague, right?
Yes. I loved Metallica. The first time I heard them in 7th grade, and I just remember the first time I heard was Master of Puppets, and I was like, "What is that?" And this is my kind of music. So, and just if my 13-year-old self could have seen future Rob, it would have been like, wait, you drink whiskey? That would have been the first question in a minute. Wait a second, you're making whiskey with Metallica? It's just, it would have been so many like, so I'm speaking out to my 13-year-old self. Like, you're going to be fine, buddy.
Yeah, be proud.
Yeah.
Tell us about the cigar and any pairings, whiskey pairings with the cigar, and about how is the cigar?
Yeah, the origin of the cigar. So I brought you something special today. So we started with the M81, which is what this is, but this is an unusual size. This is called a Lancero. So the Lancero is not for sale. We brought it with us. They made it specially for this tour for the events. So anytime I'm doing an event and I'm there exclusively, you get a cigar from events that I'm at. So this is only exclusive to this tour right now. So the Lancero size, and then there's other sizes that we do have, like Robusto, Toro. The cigar started during COVID. Everything was shut down. The band couldn't tour, and we weren't on the road supporting the whiskey and doing what we normally would do. So we're all in lockdown. James lives an hour and a half away from me in Colorado. And so I was spending a lot of time up there smoking cigars with him, and with him, his buddies. And we were just sitting on his back porch, this back deck, and just looking up at the Rocky Mountains. And he has this spotting scope on there. And on occasion you'll see bighorn sheep coming down off of the hill on the side. It was this really beautiful place. Beautiful.
Is that what heaven looks like?
It was an amazing time because it was really about connecting, as friends, as humans, and as men. Like we I think a lot of times men don't get a chance to kind of sit and talk about who they are, maybe their feelings, talk about family, talk about. So we did a lot of that with myself and James and his buddies up there, who all became good friends of mine as well. And it was it'd be around a fire pit and just looking
like
up
a spiritual
the
practice.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
and James called it the fellowship. Well, I love that he recognizes that that's not for everyone, that people, people enjoy whiskey and they do enjoy it responsibly, which I think is very critical, obviously. And so he appreciates that. There's no judgment there. And as a matter of fact, that fellowship was very welcoming to me. But we would just really talk about life. He would grill up like a big rack of ribs or something, and we'd sit there gnawing on ribs and smoking cigars, and it was like a very special time for all of us, I think, and just connecting. And there was a time where James and I just had this idea. It was just starting to kind of percolate in my brain. And this is where the crackpot schemes, like sometimes you just got to like say the idea. And I brought the idea up to him. I said, "Dude, what do you think about making a cigar?" And he said, "Wait, yeah, that's a great idea. How do we do that?" And I said, "Well, I have my very good friend, Jonathan Drew, who is the founder of Drew Estate Cigars out of Nicaragua, an innovator of in the cigar industry."
So you knew him already, Rob?
I knew him for maybe 17 years. So I've known him for a long time from my Stranahan days.
Work with friends as well.
Yes.
The best.
Yes. And I known him, and we had talked about doing a collaboration for a long time when I was at Stranahan's, but we never got the opportunity. I was like, this is perfect. This is the perfect opportunity, because James, quite famously and publicly smokes cigars, but he doesn't drink. And I was like, well, now this is something that he can lean into and we can both embrace, because we both love cigars. And so James loved the idea. I called Jonathan, and Jonathan, of course, loved the idea. I was like, look, James already said yes. All you have to do is say yes. And he said, well, hell yeah. So we're doing this. So so they started to send us different cigars, different types of tobacco. We would smoke them and keep a journal, and then we would compare notes. And
the research era.
Oh yes, yeah. This was so much fun. This was where James and I would I would look at his notes and be like, okay, we don't like this spicy note, and we narrowed it down over time to the triple Maduro, which was like dark chocolate, espresso notes, and really not super full bodied, but kind of a medium to full body cigar. And we just wanted to make something that we wanted to smoke, which is exactly what I do when I'm making whiskey. When I set out to make a blend, I blend something that I want to drink, and hopefully other people would want to drink. Yeah. You're kind of a little selfish in a blend, because I'm building this because this is what I would like to drink, and I hope other people would like it. So it was the same way with the cigar. And so we started that in 2020. M81 is the name, designation standing for Maduro, but also standing for Metallica, and 81 standing for the year Metallica was formed. So it was just a nod to the origin of the band. And of course, Blackened, one of the songs, and their record label.
And so personal. I'm just thinking maybe comparatively to how you might see people like in the public eye, like celebrities endorsing a product, that this is entirely, interwoven with, your friendship with James, your preferences, the nosing, the tasting. It's so personalized. It's amazing.
Yes. And you're absolutely right. It is a personal project. It's something that we believe in, that we're very passionate about. And I think what's important is that you are making something that you want to enjoy, that you want to drink. So smoke. And in this case,
with a drink.
With a drink. And with me, it's, it is pairing well. And you asked that before about pairing it with whiskey. When we were setting out to make the cigar, obviously James doesn't drink, so he's pairing it to what his tastes are. I'm doing the same thing, but also in the back of my mind, I'm like, what is gonna pair well with the whiskey? So there's kind of this interesting kind of dichotomy going on, and process in making this all work. So I think I was very excited about how it turned out, and I know James has been ecstatic about it. He'll smoke a cigar before he goes on stage. You'll see him sitting there getting his mind set to go on stage.
It looks almost like a meditation he does, like
absolutely.
That preparation. So cool.
It's really cool to watch and to see that. And then there's a song which I'm sure you're familiar with, Orion, which is all instrumental. and that's his opportunity where he can light a cigar, and he doesn't have to sing. So he'll be on stage, which is impressive because you think about smoking a cigar and never having the option to take it. So the smoke is, he's playing the entire song, and it's a long song. And smoking the entire
Got it down
song.
to fine art, right?
Oh, it's an impressive thing to see. People, he makes it look easy, but that's not an easy thing to do.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I know.
Getting so
I'm
geared
gonna,
up.
because we were like meeting you guys today, and then we had the podcast awards later. We were on the train. We're like, oh yeah, and we're gonna see Metallica tonight.
and yes.
And our friend that does the voiceover for our podcast, he's coming with us tonight, and we're like, Bob, we're only going to be there for 45 minutes before the awards start because Metallica's set time is from 8. So we have our
we're out.
If we win, he'll have the ticket.
We're not missing Ecstasy of Gold. Bye awards.
You're choosing wisely. Obviously, this is, and we are so bummed that we're not going to be there tonight. I'm so excited for you though. And the 72 seasons is such a fun tour. And the way the setup is incredible. I won't give anything away. I want you to experience all of it. So,
what has it been like, going around with your cigars or being on tour in the different countries? Is there a distinctly different vibe and feel as you go country to country, maybe both from the music and the people that are coming to speak about the cigars, or is it all very similar?
It's interesting. The obvious connection to every single country has been the love of Metallica, which is really cool to see and hear people's from so many different walks of life. Metallica, what Metallica means to them, what the music means to them, what metal means to them. At the same time, a lot of these people that I'm hanging out with also drinking whiskey. We're also here because of the cigar and the mutual love of cigars. So now you have all these different nationalities and communities that have a mutual passion for music and cigars, and so the conversations that I've had over the past couple of months has been so phenomenal and so incredible because people are this is what they're truly passionate about, truly excited about. That's why they showed up in the first place, was to to experience that. So it's been really cool. We started in Rome. We went from Rome to Bulgaria, then Romania, then Poland, Germany, Austria. We drove across Slovenia and Croatia to get to Hungary, and then we were in Budapest for a while. And beautiful city. Like every city has its own kind of beauty, and just connecting with the people has just been phenomenal. It's such a cool experience. It's been fun. Yeah.
Europeans.
And now you're in Scotland.
Yes. Bonnie, Scotland.
One of my absolute favorite places on the planet.
Exactly.
It's probably 8 years since I've been back to Edinburgh, and I love it here. Love it here. We were talking about this last night, and well, actually over the past few days. So in America, we're all kind of mutts, right? We're kind of a mixed bag of everybody from all over the world. So I know we kind of get made fun of from Europeans and UK. They're like, oh, I'm 3 parts this and 1 part this and 2 parts that, because we're all mutts. we're all trying to figure out what our pedigree is, because we don't really have like a historical, too much of a historical reference of who we are. So I did the DNA.
Cool.
I did the 23andMe and the DNA Ancestry.com thing, and sure enough, and I had always known this, that I had Scottish lineage. But it's like 61%.
No way.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, and then Germanic because of Dietrich, and that we can trace. Yeah. And then some other, other things thrown in there. But I always, and it said primarily Edinburgh. So it actually can narrow it down to like the regions where you were from.
So you have ancestral whiskey blood.
Here in this city. Yes, in this city. So and apparently all the drinking genes, because I got Scottish and Germanic, so the drinking genes are there and prevalent.
It was all right.
Have you done yours? Are you Scottish or Irish?
I'm mostly Irish DNA and a little bit of Scottish, but I will never tan ever. Celtic.
I call it various shades of red, white, and peeling. That's all I get. I don't get to look. I don't get that nice hue of tan. Kelly gets nice and tan, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I've been out for days. 3 more freckles.
Yeah, I look like a cherry in the sun. It's not pretty, but it was funny. I was telling Kelly this last night. We were at the event, and I was like, I know this may sound weird, but I'm looking at faces that that look like me in a way. Like, and I'm like,
Familiar.
because like, why? Yeah. Like, I'm like, oh, the sun hurts you as well. Like, I'm like, oh, me too. I could see like in the faces, I'm like, oh, this is like, these are my people. Like, I was like so happy. And it's just small things like that. I love.
Yeah.
We've been following the food.
Yeah.
So, like, that's just the whole point. Is like, what are you known for? By the way, I was asking that question in Glasgow, and at every restaurant, we're like, okay, what are you known for? And they're like, deep fried Mars bar.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I was like, seriously,
We're
like
sorry. Yeah.
that's the thing. And
Did you try one?
no, it's funny because every time I would ask that, it was like, what are you known for? And they're like, oh, deep fried Mars bar. And I was like, oh, cool. Have you had one? Like, oh no, I've never had it.
Yeah.
I tried one, and it was okay at first when it was warm, but once it cools down, it's like really bad.
The texture sounds it.
Yeah.
And that's just a lot of sugar. Like, I don't, this is my kind of sugar.
Yeah.
But like,
This is the good sugar.
I don't, that is just sweet. It sounds too sweet for me. And it's just deep fried.
Yeah.
It's not
it's
breaded or coated in anything.
all the
I think
nice
it's
like
just
seafood
fried,
and beef and things in Scotland are like so gorgeous. But like some of the unhealthy stuff is better still than the deep fried Mars bar.
Yeah.
That was I was surprised to hear that one, and I heard it from more than one restaurant. So it's like, okay, I guess that's what you're known for.
We apologize.
And we
for
never did have it though, and I just because I just couldn't be in the right mood to try it because it just sounded so sweet. I think
Deep fried pizza somewhere as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's deep frying of a lot of things.
So deep frying is the Glasgow way, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll keep that in mind next time I'm there. And of course, I love haggis. I've had it. I had it yesterday at one of the famous places over here. And I had the haggis black pudding.
Nice.
But this place that we're today called Townhouse, they do loaded fries with haggis on the top, and stuff is amazing.
Nice.
So good.
This venue is gorgeous at whole.
No, it's incredible. This place, you chose a beautiful place and very, very awesome place. And like we have Edinburgh Castle right here.
We were prepared to meet in a car park if it came to it. We're like, we just want to meet.
Yes, of course. And honestly, a pub anywhere would be great. But I think this was ideal because it's quiet and we can also enjoy just being able to sit.
Yeah, lovely weather.
And you guys are probably getting baked over there in the sun. Like, that's why I sat over here.
Very cool. I want to ask, I know you're saying you don't want to give much away about like the M72 tour, but I would love to hear a little bit. I'm sure Inka would as well. Like, the diversity. We were talking about the diversity of set lists. Is the excitement so palpable, like in not knowing what the tunes are going to be, and you will be in the snake pit? Tell us more.
Yes. You're going to be in the snake pit?
No, we're in the cheap standing, but we'll be like singing loudly.
Yes, of course, of course.
One day we'll be in the snake pit.
It is such a treat. Like, I don't take it for granted. Like when I have been in the snake pit more times than I can count, and it is a real treat and real treasure. And it is, they have such a discography of over 40 years of making songs and writing songs. And now they have the new album, the 72 Seasons. They do, there is no repeats. Even the 2 nights, they don't repeat a song. So it is incredible. And the experience is, the energy when you're there, just like is incredible. And again, I don't want to give it away, but you've probably seen some of the images. It is, the stage is in the round. And then the snake pit's in the center of that round. So what's great is that, the band is running around that circle. Really impressive. I saw something where Kirk was wearing like a tracking meter or something, and they log like 6 miles a night, like just running around. So, I mean, that's impressive, being able to do that and play music and sing.
Absolutely.
I went to see Lenny Kravitz just last week or the week before, and he was just standing there, moving his hip and singing. And I was thinking, come on.
Like, come on, give me some.
Give me more.
Right.
It was really weird.
Yeah, that would be weird because he seems like he's a very in good shape, in shape
he's
guy.
He's posting all these things that he's lifting with his leather pants and stuff, and looks fit, and then he's just staying still.
You're like, come on.
Maybe he had knee problems.
Give me a backflip or two.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, you're supposed to be a rock and roll.
Yeah. Oh, it's interesting. Yeah, because these guys get into it. They have not lost their passion at all and their drive. It's incredible.
that, as you say, they've been recording consistently. There are a lot of bands from the same era, but maybe have stopped recording many years ago, and it's great they come out and do their classics. But Metallica are so different and so passionate and have just continued to create, and I love that. I know, I just love them so much.
Yes. You are in for a treat tonight, and I'm so excited for you because this is well-deserved one, and it just obviously fits well within your not only your passion, but for podcasts, for the podcast. So this is going to be a lot of. If
we're lucky enough to win tonight, and even if we don't, but we do win, and somebody else gets the award for us, it's on brand that we've left to go to a gig.
Yeah.
It's very on brand.
I mean, and it's also the fact that you took the time to come up here on the train, do this interview, go back, then you have the award center, then you have the thing. Like, you have a very full day. So I'm grateful that you took the time to come up and speak with me as well.
Yeah. Talk about what's next for you touring wise. What are your next steps? What's it looking like, kind of country wise or plan wise?
Well, we have several events in London. So we're going to go to the Cardiff Metallica show as well. Amazing. And then we're going to the July 3rd Metallica show. And then we have an event on July 4th. And then July 5th, we're taking 11 days holiday back up. We're coming back to Edinburgh, and then we're going up to Inverness, and of course going to as many distilleries as possible, within reason. Within reason, because we just also are on holidays, so we want to check out a lot of things.
And you guys have been so busy, so you need some downtime, I imagine.
It has been nonstop. Like, we are several countries behind on posting. Kelly's been phenomenal on editing, and we've both been filming and all this content. And there's just so much content that we've captured. It's just so difficult to narrow it down in one city, and then 2 days later in another city, and then 2 days later in another city. Some days it's just one night and then you're out.
Exactly.
Like last night, we got in from Glasgow yesterday, did the event last night. We had one night at the hotel, and then we're out today down to Leeds, and then
cigar rock stars.
It is. It is a lifestyle, and I love it. It's nomadic, and the whole thing is you want to see everything. I'm like, okay, we're in Paris for one day, and so we're like Eiffel Tower. We're gonna do the touristy things, but then you're also trying to, okay, I want to experience just a little off the wall cafe. We're trying to get all these experiences in and cram them into every single city that we go to. It is one of the things where, like, you're kind of reeling by the time you get to here. We're like, okay, we just need like no alarm clocks, no, we got to pack the bags and jump on a train or jump in the van. So we've been traveling with 10 people across like driving everywhere. So.
If our listeners would like to check out your YouTube, what kind of things can they expect on your YouTube channel, Rob?
All right, so I am working on a YouTube show. It is not quite ready to launch yet.
Okay.
My website is where all the updates are going to be. Like right now, where I'm going to be on this tour, but also the updates on what the YouTube channel will be. So we haven't announced the name. We haven't announced the premise of it. Really, this is actually the most I've probably talked about it, because we're as soon as we're back, that is the focus literally for the next several months, is launching the YouTube channel. So
I think we've got an exclusive, Inka.
Yeah. I think so. You do, actually, because I haven't really talked about it yet. So it's and we were, it's been something we've been very excited about. I've been working on for a while. Honestly, it would have been a lot farther along, but unfortunately my father passed away last fall, and I was dealing with I appreciate that. So I was dealing with family affairs all through almost all winter. So that really kind of shifted my priorities, of course. And then, so now we're kind of getting back to a place where I can start looking into launching the YouTube channel. So
that's
excited about it.
No, that'll be good.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the stickers thinking we need to upgrade, because all this information at the back. We need to upgrade our stickers.
We're notorious for getting a little bit tipsy, sticking these on people. I'm not explaining anything.
That is fantastic. Well, and one of the artists for Metallica, who's been making art for them over 26 or 27 years now, is Squindo. And I'd reached out to him and asked him if he could create an image of the sidecar and of us riding. There's actually some video of Colin Robinson riding around in the sidecar with his goggles. I'll show you here in a bit. So he created this for me, which was really, really kind of him.
That's so cool.
And so, of course, I made it into stickers and
That's
into the guitar
tattoo
picks.
worthy.
I think so. That would be for someone. I think it would be weird to get a tattoo of myself on myself. That would be. I don't. So not a tattoo for me, but but certainly sticker worthy. I think is because it's a fun image. But
these are gonna be our next tattoos. Those flaming.
Oh,
We're gonna get one each.
awesome!
Glencairn, the glass you have, Glencairn are doing a collaboration with us, and people can
great.
order our Glencairn glasses through them if they want.
But
so that's quite cool.
Glencairn this glass is 25 years old this year.
They are. So I've been doing the Whiskey Festival for years, and Whiskey Fest, and you would see Glencairn there, and the family would come, and just hearing their story and how, and I primarily all my work is done with the Glencairn. All of my work, everything that I've blended and have put out there, I've been using a Glencairn my entire life.
We have tried
my entire whiskey career, I should say.
And that's cool to hear. We've tried to embrace other glasses, but we're just like, sorry, we just love the Glencairn.
And it's the same. I have other glasses that I've tried to embrace, but I always just come back to the Glencairn because it's my favorite. I'm writing a whiskey book right now. I've been writing it because I was traveling so much. I was writing it primarily at 30,000 feet in the airplane because you're an audience of one. So I would discipline myself not to watch a movie, not to read a book, and I would write. I would write my book, and I would spend that time writing. Before you know it, the plane ride's over, and you're like, oh, that was like a 3-hour flight, and it seemed like I just started. So it was very helpful to start with that. But one of the things I talked about was glassware and the importance of glassware and like why it's nosing and I kind of rated the glassware, which was a lot of fun. And I did it in a fun way. It's not a stuffy kind of whiskey book.
But you have such a story to tell, both your past in music and your like whiskey world. So that's so cool. Please keep us posted on your book, and when the time comes, we'll be like,
I will be happy to share it in this. It's it's been really exciting to be working on and to kind of discipline myself to try and finish it. And there's a collaboration within there that I'm not going to talk about because it'll be very exciting when we do launch it. But like, again, every blend that I've ever done, I'll have like 30 glasses all lined up, and I'll just go through and nose before I even taste, like all the way through the line, just nose. And then I'll start pushing glasses out of the way based on the nose alone, and then I'll narrow it down to like nose, and then I'll taste, and that's where I start with a lot of blending. So I have a ton of these, and I'm so excited to have an official Whisky Sisters Glencairn.
It was amazing to have you on the podcast before, but to meet you and share a dram with you has been so special. We really appreciate it.
Likewise, and it was a super treat. I was really, really looking forward to meeting you both in person and to be able to sit down and have some whiskey. Like, I know we didn't get as much time as we would have liked, because I know we would have spent, I'm in town, we're spending all day, we're going to this place and this place and this place, and then we're going to go have dinner, and then we're going to go out for this place and this place. And it was just going to be, it would have been our own little whiskey fest. Next time
for you guys.
Whiskey Sisters.
Thank you for your support. Like, early on, we were in our second season. You were very supportive, came on the podcast. We want to thank you for that.
Of course. Again, I think it's easy to talk about the things that you're passionate about, that you love, and getting to support that. The way I look at it, all ships rise, right? Like, it doesn't matter if you have 1 follower or 17,000 followers, or it doesn't even matter if we even have a camera on or a mic on. The fact that we're sitting here talking about whiskey was just in a beautiful. We have like an unusual sun over Edinburgh right now, which I understand is unusual. But getting to just experience that, to me, that's part of the journey of just being a part of life. And
totally.
I love that you've embraced the things that you were passionate about and embarked on a thing. You're like, well, maybe somebody will listen to it, maybe someone will be interested, but you'd be surprised how many people are if you are just putting yourself out there in the world. So I think it's phenomenal to see where you've become, where you started, where you are now, and also that the fact that you have the Scottish Podcast Awards. Is that what that's tonight?
We've been
and that you're nominated. Shortlist for that. Incredible. Congratulations on that. I'm really excited to hear the outcome. I think this is so cool. And to be able to get to see Metallica on the same day of that, it's like you're kind of having a phenomenal day today.
I
So,
know, exactly. Can't complain.
Yeah,
Right.
today is a good day.
and this is all because you decided to get together and share your passions with your podcast. So I think that's something to celebrate. So ladies, here's to you.
Cheers.
And here's to being bold and doing what your heart and following your heart. So
Absolutely. Fortune
Yeah.
favors the bold. And Blackened is bloody delicious.
So good.
So good.
Thank you so much.
Yes. And thanks for bringing that out and sharing, because that's
No problem.
that's so fun.
You've been listening to the Whisky Sisters podcast.
How cool was that? Amazingly cool. Hey, and if any of you Rob fans have been at his kind of meet and greets, the kind of whiskey and smoke events, we would love to hear from you. And also, Rob has been in many of the like the snake pits of the various gigs across Europe and the UK. So if anybody's met him, we would love to hear from you. Oh, Inka, do you know what I wanted to say and I forgot to say? See, at the Metallica gig, we were enforcing whiskey stickers on people.
Yeah.
Nobody tagged us on their socials.
Oh, annoying. And yeah, I wonder what they've done with the stickers.
I mean, they might have been overwhelmed by seeing probably one of their favourite bands and not that arsed about getting a Whisky Sisters sticker, but never. I'm a bit disappointed in that.
You know, we were dancing and talking a little bit with that guy towards the end. It was his first Metallica gig and he was all excited. He was seeing us drinking whiskey. So we had Mactala whiskeys because they sound close to Metallica. So I gave him like a tiny bit and he was all happy. And there's a picture of him like downing it. And then just next picture where he looks like he's going to vomit because he's like, because it was peated, obviously. Come on, you can't support Metallica and not drink peated whiskey. Come on, do more rock and roll than that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's good. Once we finished the Blackened, did you say it was Mactala? Which just goes perfectly. Until next time we see a gig, and hopefully our whiskey paths will cross with Rob and Kelly again at some point in the future too.
And give him a follow as well, Whiskey Rob. Hopefully he gets his YouTube up and running very soon.
Okay, Whisky Sister Inka, we'll be seeing you soon whenever your luggage arrives.
Yeah.